And we're live.
All right. Well, guys, welcome to the Edison Motors live podcast. Well, we got a lot of things to cover, a lot of things to go over. It has been what, like 2, 3 months now since we've had a chance to do a podcast?
It's been crazy busy. Yeah, we've been lacking on that. I think this is now number 15. So if you haven't
Wow.
seen them, check them out. There's lots.
Wow, 15. Yeah, no, I spent about 6 weeks straight on the road. It was wild. But went over to China. I went to go meet with our suppliers. Kind of one of the big themes, it seems, over the last 6 weeks has been negotiating supply chain management as our new shop is getting ready and we're starting to look a little bit more towards production. I've been meeting with our suppliers, kind of going over what they can supply, the volume they can supply. Been doing some quality testing, doing some product planning with them on, hey, what kind of, like, say, Meridor. Went down to Meridor down in the States, went to their head office, met with their engineering team, went over like wheel ends, axle track widths, front axle, rear axle, drum versus discs, seen their testing center. Went over to the testing center, flew over to China, met with some of our suppliers over there. You guys know we have a lot of high voltage suppliers, and met with some of the more mechanical, just basically some part suppliers over in China. I did a quality inspection on some of the parts before they shipped it, and then talked about future supply chain. Where else did we go? I feel like I went to Toronto, check in on that truck over there, the undisclosed truck. Update on that. We are waiting for one of our suppliers. Well, the Danfoss part. We're waiting for Danfoss to turn on the hydraulic pump. That seems to be the big delay right now. Danfoss is working on getting it turned on. They've been working on it this week, so we're hoping to get that hydraulic pump going. But we got the other EV part on the truck. It's going. The truck moves forward, backwards, drives, does the things that the truck needs to do as truck things. We need that hydraulic pump. So that's kind of the delay there. We were hoping to have that done a month or 2 months ago, but it is what it is. It's kind of out of our hands at this point. We can't do the code, and the code's locked down, but they are working. The other big truck update is Big D is here.
Big D, the official new name of the Royal Winch Tractor.
Yep, we've been calling it the Royal Truck for the last little while, but it has its name, and it was actually Joel's mom, DJ's wife, Tammy. We were like, what do we name it? Like, this truck is done. The truck is now a truck. It's painted. We have a tradition that we name all our trucks, and we were debating a name, and Tammy's like, well, it's the BDE. That should be the Big D. That's the first BDE.
Well, there's more meaning to it than that. Well, although that's the
What
hilarious
else
one.
could Big D stand for?
It was the Big Dozen. It's their number 12.
Yes, that's obviously the other meaning. Not just the
Yes.
big diesel, it means the big dozen
Right.
for the unit number 12 in their fleet.
But it's perfect. Perfect name.
Perfect name.
Well,
I
well
really,
done.
really like the Big D. And it looks good. We got a lot of compliments. And man, like, since we posted those pictures, videos, we're kind of saving a little bit more of them until we're kind of putting them together for more of an exciting reveal. We posted some teasers. It got back from paint, so the mechanics have been doing a few things because obviously the body and everything was apart. We got to get the coolant lines, fuel lines, air lines rehooked up, electrical rehooked up. They've been working on that the last 5 days, getting pretty close. And then we're planning on like a little bit more of a bigger reveal, but just the pictures alone I posted. I think there was probably 40, 50 people to reach out to say, hey, when can I buy that? I want to buy that. So it's like, it seems to be going over pretty well. The feedback on that's been pretty awesome.
It's way better than I had expected. Like we knew it was going to be cool, but actually seeing it together, it's like, wow. I honestly didn't think it was going to look that good. It is so sweet.
It looks so much better than like it turned out even better than I imagined. I had one guy like posted a picture like 20 minutes later. He's like giving me a phone call. He's like, when do I put my deposit down? When can I put my deposit down on that truck? You're like, we're not taking deposits yet. That, I guess that segues naturally into the business plan of things. So we're not taking any deposits for the semi trucks. I don't want to. I think it's more than enough well obvious from everything we see that our demand for our trucks has been super high. We are not, I don't think we are going to have any problem selling the trucks. Doing this whole pre-order reservation thing just does not make sense. It's just we want to build the trucks that we want to build. The idea is now that we've done Big D, Big D is really version 4. So, or version 3, I guess. Version 3? Yeah, version 3. Let's say version 3. So, what we're doing is we're having a look at everything that was kind of giving us a little bit of grief during that assembly part. Some of the things we've mentioned in our YouTube, some of the things we've shown. Sometimes bolts don't fit together. Some of the times we design something, realize it could be a little bit better. It's nothing that we had to re-change on that truck, but we'd like to change it on the future. So the engineers have been working on that. They've been going over all of their design changes. Now with those design changes, kind of hopefully finishing up over the next month or 2 months, 3 months, really, especially as we get this truck out onto the test track. We're going to find some things that we don't like, some things that we like. We'll make those changes. The plan is to build a couple of trucks in the fall. I want to build a couple mechanicals, and I want to build a couple of hybrids with these updated changes, the lessons from the truck in Ontario, lessons from the test benching that's been happening on MCon. Build those, get the kinks work out, make sure it all works good, and then next year, start of next year, I'd like to start looking at building 10 trucks, and I want them to be identical trucks. It's a little mini production line test. They call it like a validation production run. Okay, we know all our parts work. We know all the parts fit together. The truck is good. So let's roll 10, 15 trucks through this production line, and they're going to be cookie cutter the same. That's why we're not taking the reservations, because I know it's kind of custom. But at this point in the business, it doesn't make sense to do a crazy customs. Like, we're not doing a crazy custom cab over. They're all going to be identical BDE, same wheelbase, same options, maybe a couple little differences to test that, like sleeper versus day cab, little easy things like that. But that way we have the same wiring harness lengths, same airline lengths, well, really those two, same frame rails. We can order all the frame rails the same, bring them in there, put them together, try and build them, bang, 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 do the same thing again and again and again. That way we just test that assembly, see where any of those issues might be on the assembly line, then get ready to go to a larger scale production. I think that makes the most sense.
We got to work the kinks out, figure out where it needs improvement, and get it flowing the best as it can. We're going to have lots of learning on our production line, but that's a good way to do it.
The advice I got from every single manufacturer was, yeah, whatever you think you're going to be doing on your production line, it's going to totally change. Every single manufacturer we've been to says, yeah, whatever plan you have, plan on changing it. Just figure out where those weaknesses are, fix them, upgrade, and move forward.
And we are doing, like, the Royal is we're doing the hybrid and the Toco, the hybrid, right? And then we can compare apples to apples and
the Toco one, Toco's been a great backer of us. They've been really, really supporting the technology. So obviously we're going to build that truck for Toco, who's going to be testing that truck out. So obviously one of the next very first ones that we're going to be building is going to be that logging truck. I want to do the hybrid Texas bed, the same as the mechanical, because I think that is incredibly important knowledge in prototyping, is that, hey, what are the real things? And you can't compare a Texas bed to a gravel truck. Or how do we compare our truck to like a T800 Kenworth that Joel currently has? They're very different trucks. They do different things. One's a winch tractor, one's a Texas bed. Let's put the exact same body, exact same rig up, same truck, same design, because that eliminates everything. The aerodynamics are going to be the same. The weight of the truck is going to be relatively the same. In other words, like, we can compare, this is the weight of the mechanical, this is the weight of the hybrid. We put these both on the scales. The only thing different in these two trucks is the hybrid v mechanical driveline. So it proves everything by building two identical. So those are going to be the next two hybrids. I'd like to do another mechanical run, just to, we don't have to prove as much on that. So maybe just one more mechanical, and just to kind of test our assembly, making sure that that goes nice and smooth. And then the next 10, we've had a few body rig up places reach out to us, and they've been looking at like, hey, what are you guys going to be doing with this? Well, it's going to be the next 10. We're not going to really do the pre-sales of them. We're not going to sell them until they're in the production line. When we have them in the production line, they're being built, then we will open up a thing of like, hey, who wants this truck? Like, hey, the trucks are rolled off the production line. They're in the lot. We've shown them off. This is a finished truck. Who wants it? I think that makes the most sense.
Yeah, and then we'll have a better, like, once we built it, we'll know how much it's going to cost, rather than selling something you don't know what it's going to cost to someone who on the hope. And for the apples to apples, the mechanical to hybrid, right now, all of like our predictions or projections are like, they're based on computer models, and that we have to have real world side by side data testing.
I mean, we've got the real world from Topsy. We got the testing on the pickups, obviously.
Yeah, but like
it's not the same. Is that Topsy's now a totally different design, a totally different body. It's different axles, different batteries. Like, we've changed so many and upgraded so many things. And then, yeah, when it comes to costing, obviously that makes sense. We're making design changes, we're doing it, and you're like, how long does it take to build each truck? How many man hours of labor? Using the man hours of labor in this mechanical truck puts it as like a $600,000 truck. But that's because obviously we spent 5-6 months. Plus then you have engineering time, design time. Oh, this piece was wrong. Reorder this piece. Oh, this part didn't work. We need to change it and do this part. Like that. If you add up all those costs, that's a very expensive truck. So it'd be nice to see what those actual hours are for a predictive way and compare that, because we have estimated hours of kind of been doing some rough tracking of like, how long does it take to install the suspension? Okay, well, once we figured it out, it took this long. Okay, those are rough estimates, and you can kind of put those estimates all together to give a rough idea of the truck, but we won't know until we do the verification production run, realistically.
Mm-hmm. And like, a great example is that DeBoss is working towards is his cross country trip, and he plans on taking the pickup and pulling the trailer, and then he's got a very similar pickup to go across, and we're really looking forward to that. But Rich is going down for surgery; he's gonna be out for a while, so it's dependent on his recovery. But that could very well be in the future that we do that. I'm super pumped on that.
Yeah, and Rich's truck is going good. We displayed it at CanSec, eh? So that was kind of cool. That was we got invited to the Canadian and military and NATO defense contractor show to show off our hybrid pickup trucks. So that was really exciting.
And just right by the skin of our pants as usual. You guys are probably wrenching it in the parking lot.
Always. We didn't have to wrench it in the parking lot. We got it done enough that we were able to just drive it off the trailer, drive it into the show. Didn't have to do anything in the parking lot. But the days leading up, I mean, we were still, like, we put the box on the morning of going to the show. Like, we got wheels spinning like that. Like, okay, we got to leave this evening. Like, let's get this thing going. We got wheel spin like the night before. Like, big shout out to Conrad, Peter, Lee, Ray, just fantastic. I think Conrad put in like 100 hours out in Ontario of just getting that truck running. Well, I think they all did, but yeah,
like that week.
Yeah, like he crushed it. If you go and watch, I recommend everyone watch DeBoss Garage's latest video. It just came out on the whole build to get complete at CanSec with like 4 days in the build. You can see that we are burning on some late hours out there, but like just really, really proud of the crew, how they came together. We got her there. We displayed it. Bunch of military guys came over. Really liked the technology. We got some good leads. Yeah. Oh, I guess we actually can announce now that we got a defense contract too. So that's kind of one of the big updates that's been, yeah, we haven't really talked about that, but yeah, we're not allowed to say what the truck was or what it was, but that truck has already been delivered. So that truck was already finished, delivered, tested. for this military contract, and now it's evaluating moving on to stage 2 of the defense contract. So we're waiting to hear back on that report on how our truck did, what improvements we may need to make, and go forward on that. So yeah, Edison Motors is officially a defense contractor, like as of like a year ago.
Ray's title is now the Executive VP of Defense, which is a pretty badass title.
Yep. Ray has been handling. A lot of people are like, "What's Ray's role? What does Ray do?" You're like, Ray handles the defense. So now we're actually be able to be like, "Yep, he's Vice President, Edison Defense."
So yeah, and I'm really hopeful. Like I read in the news that Canada's supposed to put a big budget towards defense spending, and
yeah, and they're really promoting local. So I'm hoping we can take advantage of that. They want to buy domestic. We're the only real domesticized Canadian-based truck manufacturer. So
it was pretty nice getting invited to CanSec.
Yeah. The member of Parliament, our old buddy Mel Arnold, the one that came and hung the Canadian flag. Where did we move that flag? It used to hang above my desk. We moved it somewhere. But they came and had the Canadian flag up in our new shop. Mel came in and he's like, "Oh, hey." He just came just to look at our truck. He's been tracking the Ram. And then he was able to be like, "Well, I'm a member of Parliament. I bet we could go check out the fighter jet." And he's like, "Oh, you're a member of Parliament? Come on, sit in the fighter jet." So we're sitting in the fighter jet. I'm playing in the fighter jet. And he's like, "Do you guys want to try out the simulator?" Absolutely.
Mel got
Do you guys want to fire the surface-to-air missile launcher? Yes, I want to fire the surface-to-air missile launcher. So we got to go in there and fire off one of those, like just a simulation round. But like, that's pretty cool. They had like a little tracking thing to like track the jet, and you got to look in the screen, fire off the simulated round, and you can see like the computer screen go up, shoot the plane, knock it down.
Yeah, Mel's awesome. He goes in there, just got to pull his weight as a MP to get you guys to do all the fun stuff.
Mel is awesome. Mel is 10 out of 10. That guy is like, yeah, he is. We always like Mel.
He's a real dude.
Real dude. Real solid guy. It's just no sense, no fake. Mel is just Mel, and he is just the genuine nicest guy. Really glad that he's our member of Parliament here, because I got to fire a surface-to-air missile launcher.
Simulator.
Oh, it's still cool.
It is cool.
And I got on a fighter jet. You're like, "What did your member of Parliament do for you?" You're like, "You got to let me sit in a fighter jet."
You guys almost pulled off being able to pull the fighter jet. Are we allowed to say that?
Yeah, we almost did. The guys with the fighter jet, they're like, "Can we pull it with the Ram? Can we pull it with the Ram?" And the guys there are like, "Yeah, that would be awesome. We got to talk to head office." And head office immediately said no. They're like, "What do you mean?" You're like, "Well, can we pull this fighter jet with this super experimental pickup truck that just got finished 2 days ago?" And head office for Saab was like, "Absolutely not. Why are you asking me that? That is the stupidest."
But Topsy's first pull was the Sherman tank, the boss one. The Land Cruiser's first pull was a Kenworth hauling the Sherman tank. And then the Ram's first pull almost was pulling a fighter jet. Like, how would you ever top that?
I don't know. We got to figure out some way to top it for the first pull with the Ram. Like, we already know it can pull the pickup can pull 100,000 pounds. I say we just go higher. But then Rich probably doesn't want to destroy it before his cross-country road trip.
Yeah, well, maybe when it gets out, let's go talk to CP or something, see if they'll let us pull a train. That's not going to happen.
I know some people. That have rail yards. I bet we could pull a rail train.
That would be pretty cool.
I'm going to reach out to Sean on that one. Cam's dad probably knows somebody that will let us yard shunt a train.
Yeah,
Sean, if you're listening to this podcast, can we pull a train?
I guess you could back up a little bit, because right before you went there, we went and got the axles tested. You kind of briefly talked on that?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. 1 second. I'm just texting Sean.
So we went to the axle testing, and I'm just going to say a media-related thing. So in the axle video that we released, at the end of it, I had to leave. I had to fly home. Chase was going to DeBoss. And we're like, so Chase took over the videoing. And I'm like, okay, well, in the video it shows I left him my lavaliers, which is like your audio mic. And I'm like, hey, well, we're good because you can have poor video, but as long as you have audio, it's good. Turns out that Chase filmed the whole first wheel spin of the Ram and everything in slow motion. So therefore it had no audio, and he didn't have his lavs on, which he was supposed to. So all that footage is, we're going to have to do a reenactment or something. So
Yeah, my bad. My bad.
But the
But
test-
axle testing, I guess we can talk on that since you brought that one up. So, we made a mistake. My bad, because I signed off on the mistake. But we took the axles there, like those fancy electric axles from CDTL. They haven't been approved in North America, so we had to do the North American testing. We shipped the axle over there. They put it on the wheel end. And yeah, the weight was almost kgs, not pounds. Like, we were supposed to do, like, they were doing 30,000 pounds versus we dialed it back, which would be 90,000 pounds on the drives. Realistically, you're never going to put more than like 18,000 pounds, 20,000 pounds per drive axle legally on the road. Off-road doesn't matter for the sake of licensing as much. But yeah, we did that. It almost passed. It kind of got a little close and then really failed. But it needs to stop with less than 82 psi of friction. They measure the amount of square footage of the air to slam them brakes and stop that big spinning metal flywheel. It stopped it, but it stopped it with like 95 psi, which a semi-truck has 110. So it still showed that while being really heavy, it was still able to stop. But we lowered it down to 23,000 pounds, and it was able to grab and stop that 23,000 pounds with like 60 psi. So yeah,
there was a little panic moment there for a minute before we realized our mistake.
Yeah. Oh, there was a few panic moments. There was the wheel nut issue. The wheel nut got lost because obviously you put it on an assembly and then you got to pack the wheel nut on. The wheel nuts got lost. Whatever happened, the transit shipping their end, we don't know. They just disappeared. It happens. Oh, I was in the meeting with Meridor all morning, and all of a sudden I get out of this meeting with Meridor, and there's like these 30 emails in this email chain, and all these engineers, and they're like, "What's going on? How do we find these wheel nuts? Like, what's going? Like, oh my God, it's a leased dyno. We only have so many days in this dyno that we can do it. If we miss it, we don't get to do the testing, and it's another 3-4 months until we get the dyno." Oh my God, 3-4 months? Well, we need this for our road legal. The trucks won't even be road legal this summer. We can't submit those brake data. Like, what do we do? It's really the only external dyno testing that we know of that we can send these to. And then, so like, I rush over there, get a flat tire, air it up. I have to like stop and air my car tire up with like a little 12-volt air compressor, like 2 or 3 times on the way to the testing center. I beeline all the way over there, get in there, like, get over there, go into the mechanic that's working on it, be like, we need wheel nuts. The overnight shipping isn't going to do it. It's 2-day shipping. And I ask him, like, do you have old wheel nuts from other axles? He's like, yeah, we got this bin of old wheel nuts. Okay. Screw the wheel nut on. Give her a little tack. Yep,
Yeah.
There we go. Turns out we could just go to one of the other ones and use one of the other wheel nuts and put it on there. Like, oh, it's like 8 engineers in a chat, all trying to figure out shipping, logistics, and just, I go to the mechanic that's working there, and he's like, hey, yeah, we got a bunch of old box of wheel nuts right over there. We could use one of those. They're like, sometimes you just need to ask a mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
But I am very, very glad that I went a few days early to go do these other meetings with our other suppliers in Detroit, and that I happened to be there, happened to be able to drive over there, solve the problem, go in there. Then we had the other issue. Me and Jen sat down, ran the numbers, solved the problem. Like, it's one of those ones where people wonder, like, why do we need to hit the road? Why do you travel? You could have just got the test results, because being there in person for things that are this important allow it so if any issues come up, you can get on those issues, you can get them solved. You're not delaying projects by months. So it's just kind of one of those things that sometimes the best thing to do is just travel and handle it yourself.
And then they passed with flying colors. Like, they did
Oh
awesome.
yeah, instead of 85, it's 60.
Yeah. So those were done. Then you went to the bus. Then you went to Kansec. And while you were in Kansec, I stayed here because originally we weren't supposed to be able to film anything there because obviously it's a military show. Turns out you could film a little bit in the booths, so I missed that. But while I
There was filming and no filming areas. They had like a restricted area and then they had another area or something like that. And you had to get explicit permission from them. Hey, can we film this? And can we put it on our YouTube? So we will be able to show you, pending YouTube community guidelines, show you some of the cool stuff.
I'm coming next year for sure. But while I was missing that, I was in Donald there, and we did the concrete pour in the shop, which was awesome. That video is coming out next Friday or Saturday, so it's already finished. We're sitting on it,
Yeah.
and it went great.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
the concrete floor looks fantastic. I just do want to address the one comment by Wile E. Coyote there that says off the shelf in the parts bin for the win. Yes. I was super committed to these Chinese axles and went in there and we paid a bit in the development and design fee, but I'm like, no, I want these standard North American wheel ends. I want these Conmet wheel ends, like with these ones. So because I was like so adamant that they put on the North American ones that you can find parts for, go into it, like it's just uses a 225H brake caliper, brake pads. Those are one of the most common ones. You can get them in any part shelf. Wheel nuts, you're able to go in, grab them. Because we were able to have those off-the-shelf parts, they just happen to have a bin of wheel nuts because they were off the shelf. Can you imagine if we had some custom Chinese wheel end? And then it's a damn good example why it stands by those values, because you think about it. Basically, we were doing a service to our axle. The axle was down. The axle needed maintenance. Imagine it was a truck in a truck shop. And that truck had to go to work. A mechanic took the wheel nut. Things happen in a shop. He set it somewhere. It's lost. We need something to do. Okay, well, we'll just go grab another wheel nut, or we'll go grab something else. We like having common parts, common brake shoes, brake pads, all of these things were what allowed us to help do some of these.
I also got to say, Detroit pizza's not very good.
No,
I don't know.
it wasn't. I
Like,
don't
what?
get it.
That's their hype. Everywhere we go, we look up like what's the best food or what are they known for, and they're like Detroit pizza. Like it's the biggest thing is cut into squares. Like come on. But okay,
Yeah,
so
I don't.
then
Yeah,
we did
concrete.
concrete. We did the concrete pour. Man, 3D concrete kick butt. Rob's crew kick butt. They had toucan concrete. It was awesome. It went like without a hitch. I guess the biggest thing was the first truck that came in kind of got high centered. I wasn't there for that. Rob got it figured, but then man, those guys busted ass, and it looks fantastic. No issues. And what was I got the volume measurements in the video we're putting out, but
Sean says he might know something that we can pull, like might have a train car.
nice.
He says the only thing would to do it right, we need air to the car, or you'd be pulling against handbrake set. So he's like, you just need a big air compressor or some kind of air compressor thing. Can it pull it? Fuck yeah, I think we can. Should it? As long as we find the right balance of following the rules. He has some ideas. I think that should be one of the first ones. I feel
think
like because
traction
it's
might be
basically
the-
a freight train.
Traction's gonna be the biggest issue on that. We can add some weight to the back of the truck or something.
The air compressor.
So then we had the concrete was finished, and within a week we did the EV challenge, and that was also like every year it gets better and better, and this year was phenomenal. With biggest turnout, the best track. We had everything, no big crashes really, which was a little bit disappointing in the faculty race with the teachers because that was my favorite part. It was just utter chaos last year, but this year the cart builds were fantastic.
There was one wreck in the faculty race, but he was fine.
Yeah, it was like minor.
It's like just one rollover, but yeah, everyone was safe. The cart builds were awesome.
This like some students, there was this one school. We had two Alberta schools back out. The school district wouldn't let them do it, and it was like last moment. So we had this extra kit, and there was a school up in Prince Rupert that they were trying to get in. So Mimi reached out and it's like, hey, if you can pay the shipping to get this kit, you can have it. So they did, and they built their cart in less than a month. and then they drove from Prince Rupert to Golden. I don't even know how many hours of a drive that is. It's
Like
got to be
18.
yeah, and then they got there, and then they're wrenching on it like until midnight, and then they got her. There were other schools, like the community of everyone working together, working on their carts, breaking stuff, fixing it during the event. Golden High School kicked butt again. Damn it, Silas. Which we were like,
Yeah, Golden.
the
Well, I
Edison
guess they
team.
keep their jobs because they, we're like, oh, we hire the high school students that do the best, so we hired them on. Like they work full time over the summer, and some of them going back to school, some are working, but like they all work here. We hired them all on because they dominated last year and they dominated again this year. Although Willow Creek was one of the new ones. Willow Creek was up on a first, bunch of seconds. Willow Creek, I gotta hand it to them boys. They
did. That was the one I was
girls.
the most excited for, because it was their third year, and every year you could see them get better and better. Last year their cart was so cool, but I think they placed in one event. This year their cart was unbelievable. It sounded like electric Lamborghini or something.
Oh, it was deadly. And that thing ripped. Like that was by far one of like the coolest carts. And the weight balance was perfect and the suspension was soft. So like where they dominated in their thing, they were able to just launch that thing over the motocross track. That thing was getting like 5-6 feet of air, staying perfectly balanced, and then just coming down softly and ripping into the corner. Like I think honestly they could sell that. I would buy that cart. Like if they offered that cart for sale, I would go out and buy that cart right now. That was
A few of their students missed their graduation to be there, so they had their own graduate ceremony. They got their award. They wore their graduate hats, and it was like what a to have them do the last 3 years, or these 3 years, and then their graduating day is they dominated the event. Like I was so proud of them and happy for them.
Yeah, no, it was pretty awesome. Update on next year. So we're doing a little things differently. We normally have opened up registration in January, September, October, and to get the kits there January, and we've had delays in the past. So what we're doing is we've opened up the registration now. It'll be open for a couple months for teams that want to register. You got to go to the website, Edison Motors Go-Kart Challenge. If you're a school, there's a registration. There's also a donation. A donation for a kit will guarantee that you get a kit because we can directly order it. The other ones we sponsor ourselves for about 10. But the big news this year is everyone's been asking for the Adult League. We are going to allow it against all better judgment. Let's let the adults. They're like, hey, we want to compete. That looks like fun. Can we build one? So yes, if you go to the website, there is an Adult League. It is $3,200 Canadian, which is a little bit more than the cost of a kit, but it is all going to the charity, and the cost of ordering the Adult League, a portion of that is going towards sponsoring other ones. So basically for every 2 or 3 adults sign up, that's one extra school. They're going to be able to show up same weekend. We're going to have the youth race, then we're going to have the adult race, and we'll see adults versus kids who wins. And
I think we got to have
kids.
we got to have a separate adult course. Like they got to
We
have a
do,
harder
because we can go
course.
harder on the adult course.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be fair because some of the schools, like they barely got to rotate through all their drivers. So if you added a bunch more people in it, there wouldn't be enough time, or we'd have to extend the event.
Well,
But
I think you could do the event either extended for more hours and a longer pit crew, or you could run the kid event, then run the adult. But it'd be kind of cool to see the times of like the adult league versus the kid league, the student league, see how it works out. Because I still think the students win. I
they're
still give
lighter.
it up to the students.
Adults are gonna have to have like a jockey-sized driver, like for weight.
I don't know. Like
I guess depending on
our
the
guys are
event,
kind of big. They still kind of.
but our guys didn't win. Like if you put an adult compared to like Silas is pretty tall, but he's not not a
you're
thick
right.
guy.
You're right.
He's fairly light. Yeah. So
Okay, well, let's just see what happens. I think
We'll see.
we have I think we should have 1 or 2 special adult ones that, like, yeah, universities.
really beat him up.
Yeah, universities or adults, and just like we can allow those guys to like fly on some straight stretches. Also, probably increasing the safety rules. We're gonna put in some more netting requirements. So like you have to have the netting, the full roll cage, so that arms can't go out. But and like there are probably a couple more rules. One school competed with their motorbike because it wasn't anywhere in the rules that you needed to have four tires on your go-kart.
Wasn't that us? I thought that
No,
was I thought that was Mike and somebody. Mike and
that was
somebody
Willow
did that.
Creek.
Oh,
I think it was
okay.
Willow Creek.
Someone had a trailer for the log pull. That might have been Willow Creek.
No, I don't think was that one Willow. I don't think that one
That
was
was
Willow.
somebody.
No, I can't remember.
But
But someone bought
yeah,
a trailer. We're like, hey, you got to do the log skidder challenge, and they're like, whatever you can do to get these logs. So they went and grabbed a trailer and then put the logs on a trailer and hauled the logs on the trailer. And you're like, well, it wasn't against the rules, so I guess you win.
it was cool, the creative thinking that people are doing to get the logs across. People are loading their cart up with logs or dragging the logs, and then their teammates were pushing, which was not against the rules. So they're pushing each other across. The off-road challenge was way better than last year's. We had like some serious obstacles on it, and the carts did way better, I think,
Oh yeah.
than last year's.
They're improving every year, which is like the whole thing on the challenge is that every single year we have noticed, like from the very first year to the third year of the schools that keep coming back, that knowledge isn't being lost when the students transfer. It's being retained. They're getting better engineering. They're working on it, and it's kind of cool because like some of them, they were in like grade 10 when I think in the first year, grade 11, grade 12, like this is their third year coming to this event, and you can see that knowledge, that team. People are starting to figure out the challenge a little bit more. The schools are also getting behind them because now you're seeing like sponsors coming out. Like we're getting more and more sponsors. The students are like, some of the
Shout out
schools had like some legit sponsors where you're like, how are you getting sponsored by major oil and gas companies, guys?
And shout out to Peerless. Peerless is out there. They had a tent there. What Saint came out, and they were talking to like the engineering.
Yes, SATE, Southern Alberta Institute of Technology came out. They're going to build a cart next year, they said, compete in the adult race.
Oh, I'd like to see what they do. Oh man,
Yeah.
there's gonna be some stiff competition.
It's like this is going to be like a redneck Baja for sure. It's like a go-kart Baja. Don't want to spend 50 grand on the Baja? Let's spend 3 grand on the Edison go-kart.
We had camping the night before and the night after. The camping was great. You guys had a big bonfire. The students were all hanging out. And
Which,
it was
like, I'm not saying that I'm not disappointed in the students, but like, they were very, very responsible. We looked around, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, or like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. All the Edison employees are still hanging out at the bonfire, laughing, telling stories, and like all the high school guys have gone to bed. The teachers are all out. So it's like all the faculty's out, all of the Edison guys are out. The fans that came out were all hanging out, and like all the students went to bed, and you're like, man, this is backwards. Because I remember being like 17, 18. I would have been at the bonfire till like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. for sure. But they were very responsible and well behaved, so props to them.
So if you guys want a kit, it's on our website, and there are, I believe it's relatively limited quantity. Well, it depends on the orders we get, but it's under
No,
on
it's
the top.
it's not a limited quantity right now because we have not placed the order. So we
Right.
are going to be able to order as many carts as people reserve. So right now, if you get it, you get in there, and do a booking. It's a guaranteed kit because you know we're ordering it.
If it's been fully sponsored, it's not just put $50 on and you guarantee it.
Yeah, but a fully sponsored kit. Like we can buy the whole. Adults are obviously getting the kit.
And for the student kits, like we do, they cost more than when everything's said and done than what they're going for. It's a good deal, and Edison Charity does subsidize some of that.
Yeah. It is a legit charity. We got legitimate charity status. Like you got a tax return if you donate go-karts. It's probably the weirdest business charity that ever exists. You're like, oh, what's the Edison charity? You're like, you guys fighting cancer? Are you rescuing animals? You're like, no, our charity is to make sure we looked out and we realized that not enough kids had go-karts. And we had to start a charity because that was an issue that we felt we had to change.
But it's kind of fair because like all the feedback we get is that's the highlight of the kids' school year. It's the reason they're going to class and not skipping. It's teachers are using it as like a bargaining. Like if you don't keep your grade point up to a certain point across all your classes, you can't be part of it. So
Yeah, we had several teachers that came out and said the reason their students graduated was because of this challenge. They're like, we had ones where they were not going to school, they weren't doing anything, and we told them like, you have to pass all of the rest of your classes, or you're not going to the Edison Go-Kart Challenge Day. And they got on it, they studied, they passed, they graduated, and they were able to attend the event. So I'm a big believer. It's like it's motivation. It's like there's nothing for the trade kids. Realistically, there's a couple of little challenges out there, but it's not like where's the big fun activity for the trade kids? Like, where's I know they have like some welding competitions or like some woodwork competitions. There's like, how nice of a weld can you do? Whatever woodworking contest can be. But like, this is such a real practical application of science, engineering, mechanic, shop. It just brings everything that you are learning together between physics, math, and the trades, and production, manufacturing, and bringing it all into one for a head-to-head competition. It's like, it's great. It is really something that we need to be doing a lot more of to motivate these kids.
yes, sir. What else was there that we wanted to talk about? Well, I guess I'll do a plug for get your go-kart, and then we have Investor Day sign up on our website, which will also be hosted in the new shop. Oh, we can skip back a sec, and after the event, a bunch of teachers and adults did a big donut competition in the shop. It was awesome.
Yeah, really want to stress there that was just teachers and adults after the event. Wasn't the kids.
Mm-hmm. And so we got some awesome footage of it. Just hacking donuts, going around pylons. Like
the new shop has so much rubber laid on the floor.
Really christening that new shop.
Yeah, and like the most PG-13 way you can christen a shop.
Mm-hmm. And
it was a lot of fun. It was so much fun. And like, I don't even know how that started. Like, one guy did a donut, second guy did a donut.
You started it.
Yeah, hey, we're not pointing things. It's just some guy did a donut, and then someone else did a donut.
Oh, yeah.
And then someone else did a donut. Then I'm like, okay, I go grab the speaker. I'm like, hey, everyone, this floor is really slippery, and this is kind of awesome. We're going to move everyone back to a large, safe distance, put up some cones, and we're going to allow people to just do a bunch of donuts. So we just like brought it out there rather than just having the odd person do a donut irresponsibly, move them all back, put everyone in a safe corridor, and then be like, all right, we're going to let these people have at it doing donuts until we calculate it. And it was pretty fun.
Go get them, teachers. Yeah, so we had that. What else is on our agenda to talk about here?
We did Royal. We did...
Oh, I was supposed to say that Jordan couldn't be here because he's farming. So that's why Jordan's there.
Stupid farmers in there working 18, 20 hours a day.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to make sure people have food to eat. I can't talk about trucks.
Yeah, so the Investors Day sign up is on our website. That'll be the next big event we have at our property. It'll also be mostly held in the new shop, which is fantastic. It's way better than our old shop, which was like a liability potentially standing underneath it. And so you can get it. That one is limited quantity. So that one will sell out, and it's on our website under events, Investors Day. So if you want to come to Investors Day, you don't have to be an investor to do it. That's kind of the title of it, but we will do, you get a tour. We're potentially talking about, go for it.
Yeah, we're going to do a big tour of the shop. We're going to show off the trucks, show off the technology. We're going to, obviously, we do a big question and answer period where we get up on stage. We go over the plans of the business. It's basically like a live version of this with a comment section. We let people go up to the mic, ask whatever person on the team a question. We try and answer those questions as much as we can. We do that for a few hours. Then we have a nice big old sit down dinner. And then after the event is concluded, very clear that after the event is concluded, then there's a big bonfire and a big kind of celebration night. It's a big hurrah. It's a BYOB event.
There's camping on site, so no driving.
Yeah, we restrict any driving. That anything that happens after the event, as soon as people are done the event, no one's allowed to leave anymore, drive, move. That's just for safety. But it's kind of cool because it's the big let loose moment for all of the Edison employees. The guys that were Investor Day last year know it. It's like it's the big everyone here. We've achieved a lot. Let's let loose. Let's relax. This year, due to advice, we are going to put up two things though, where there will be a quiet camping area for people that say, hey, 9 or 10 o'clock, like after the event's done, I don't want to participate in the big bonfire event. We'll move them to a quieter spot, and then we'll have the people that don't mind being closer by.
I'll answer Oil Burner's question. He was just wondering how the pickup reservation kits number. That's not the reservation number. I'll throw it up. Any updates on those of us have the deposit on the 1 ton kit? It seems they start at 5,000. That's just the merch store order, so that's not the.
That includes everything, like people buying hats, people buying whatever. Yeah, no. Well, there are quite a few reservations. Yep, we're working on it. Updates on the pickup kit is a lot of that is that Land Cruiser was sent off for testing at a testing facility. We're waiting for the report back on things that need to change. Rich is now moving into the testing phase on his pickup. I am sure that there's going to be things we have to change. We're obviously going to need to go through the government certification process. We got the permission for the BDE. It's a little bit unclear in the regulation how the retrofit comes in. We may have to certify it as a chassis under like CMVSS, Environment Canada. They may require an incomplete chassis, so we'll have to build the frame rail, the suspension, have it in there. That's a minimum viable product. Sell a chassis. And then if we're selling chassis, then we can sell parts of that chassis, like Ford does with their crate engines and all that, to people that want to install that themselves, or to installers that may want to install that. So, but we need to go through that certification, and we need to see what that chassis and setup is. So
it'd be like
the government paperwork is always a pain, but we still have some time to figure it out because we're working on that version 2 based on what we're learning here. And we're working on putting it all into the chassis so that we can at least certify and sell a chassis.
It'd be like a skateboard platform. That would be how people say. And there's a lot of benefit that actually comes to that, because that's one thing that we learned, just trying to get all the components to fit and everything. Sometimes you had to move cross members. And as soon as as a manufacturer like ourselves, you move cross members, you got to recertify everything. So it'd be every vehicle would need to be recertified.
It'd be a pain.
Yeah.
If you just sell the chassis and then parts and people do it, then it's a lot easier.
Whatever they do on their own, we have no control over. We just have to be careful about how we word it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should probably stop saying about how we word it. Is the disclaimer to put in here is that it is very much in development on the rollout path, and we are focused on perfecting the technology, and the rollout path on the pickup kits is in conceptual development stage.
Well done. Yes.
Getting better at disclaimers.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
I think we hammered off a bunch of the most recent stuff.
Any good questions that people have been asking in the comment section? This is normally when we answer the comments.
Do we need to worry about bears with our food and garbage for the bonfire campout? We have a Great Pyrenees now. My puppy, he's 8 months old, and he would love to put a run on some bears. But no, we haven't. We've actually never seen a bear on our property that I'm aware of since we moved there. There are coyotes and there are cougars in the area, but it's an industrial site. So there has been no issues with the wildlife besides the big old coyote running through.
No, I'm... y'all said this would be investors only. No, it is not investors only. It is open to the general public, but it is primarily an investor themed business update day.
I couldn't see that. You're not able to add questions.
Are the pickup stick kits intended to be a standard North American axle size only? Well, the one we did was for a Toyota Land Cruiser. So one of the ones we did was a Toyota Land Cruiser LC79. I wonder if an LC79 is similar to a Hilux. So there's options, but like I say, we're now working on version 2 based on testing, and we'll see.
And again, the best place to follow the pickup conversions is on DeBoss Garage's YouTube channel. That's where you get the most up-to-date updates.
Yeah. At the EV event, my 4-year-old wanted the BDE model to be a toy. Will we make toys? We're not making any kids' toys of the BDE. Well, I think that'd actually be pretty smart because, like, I would love trucks when I was a kid. But we are doing new die-cast version. So there is going to be a die-cast version of the undisclosed truck and what that is. There'll be a die-cast version of Tokol's logging truck, and then die-cast version of another winch tractor, I think. Just different colors.
Peak message. Yes, the details for the event are on our website under events. Second gen Cummins.
Yeah, I think we're probably.
I think we're pretty good here.
Yeah.
Okay. Will the die trucks be signed? The die cast trucks? I don't know. I sure hope Chase doesn't promise that again, because that was insane.
Oh, that was so much. You know what I'm probably gonna do this time is like the first 100 will be signed or something like that. Not all 700. That took. That was like a full day of just signing trucks.
Like
we'll probably just do like the first 100, and we'll probably just number them and do like number 1. Sign,
yeah.
number 2,
So
sign, or like something like that. Something more limited. I can't, because now we're getting like 3,000 of them. So it's like I'm not signing 3,000 trucks.
Are you allowed to say potentially what the die-casts are? Did you? You just said the BDE?
I did, yeah. It was the undisclosed. I can't say what that one is, obviously, because it's still not disclosed until Danfoss hooks up that hydraulic pump. Danfoss, please.
Undisclosed.
And Scania is doing some commissioning on the engine. There's also the thing where Scania is doing some engine commissioning based on some like parameters for testing and things we learned during testing and prototyping. Scania is doing some updates and codes on the updating some parts on the generator. So we got to let Scania do that, dial it, but it's all part of the testing fun. Will you guys be publishing detailed CAN or circuit drawing? Yes. I've said that before. We'll just make all of that very open sourced. Let people look at it. Let people play it. One of the big things we've learned, some of the changes on V4 that I am very, very excited about. I guess that is one of my most exciting. We had a little bit more CAN bus than we wanted. I think people were leaning a little bit more. On the mechanical truck, it is going all simple analog relay logic. We're fucking ripping out all that CAN bus shit that's complicated and hard to fix. There's obviously still some stuff on the Cummins engine itself, and the hybrid's definitely going to need some stuff for the electric axles, controller, battery. But there's no effing reason that you need to have CAN bus to turn on your windshield wipers, CAN bus to turn on your headlights, CAN bus to turn on your turn signals, CAN bus to turn on your defrost. We're just cutting that out. It's going to be relay logic where the power goes from the battery to a switch or a relay. You hit the switch, the power then goes to the thing you're powering and goes back. It's simple, it's easy to diagnose, it's easy to fix. Relays and switches can be found anywhere. It's like, yeah, it's a little bit more to wire, but it's going to be such a better project. Like my old 69, these old classic trucks we got, they're analog relay logic. You can replace a whole wiring harness in a weekend if you want to. So that's one of the big changes. And obviously that's pretty open source because there's no computer code whatsoever required to turn it, because why do you need to have a computer code to turn the fucking headlights on? I should not require a computer to turn the headlights on, a computer to turn the turn signals on. I want to hit a switch and have the turn signal headlights come on. And like it was some of those changes made is like, well, there were some people that did some things that were like, well, it was cool, like those engineers were experimenting, which I love the engineers have a chance to do things, have a chance to program it, but we were able to look at it and be like, wow, that was a cool thing. What if we did this? What if there's a mix of things on it? So we're simplifying some things going forward.
engineering team.
Engineering team, yes. They weren't actually the ones that did it weren't engineers, but engineering team.
Is there an age limit for Investors Day? I don't think. No, there's not.
No, there's no age limit.
My kids will be there.
Yeah, we definitely have kids around. It's obviously it's not a kid event. Like I don't think kids want to sit there for 3-4 hours and listen to people going over the financial statements and planning and where we're at with the company, but
You could, yeah.
there's a big sand pit, I guess, the kids could play with, unsupervised or supervised. I don't know. Go look after your kids if they're playing in the gravel pit. But like as a kid, I love playing in gravel pits. We got a gravel pit, just probably
we got
don't let 'em
toys.
play unsupervised.
We got a sandbox up in my house, kind of, and we got all sorts of toys. Your wife or whoever can take the kid down to the river and the beach. We got a beautiful sandy beach.
Well,
what
if the wife is the one that's interested in the financial information? What if the wife is interested in the trucks and the dad likes to look after the kids?
That's not how it works in my household, I guess. Well, okay, you can take your kids while your wife does the financial stuff and the truck tour. I guess that was sexist. No, I don't apologize.
If that happens, I will buy you a bottle of whiskey, though.
It's gonna be tough for me. I've actually not had a drink. Today is 13 weeks, so I'm not gonna be drinking at the event there. But I'm trying to lose my beer gut for summertime. So it's working. So no alcohol for me.
Yep, and I've been doing pretty good on my health kick too. After the sauna video, I am pleased to announce that I am down about 25 pounds as of this morning. Like I have lost well over 20 pounds of weight since I came out and I was all kind of fat in the sauna playing with my belly and realizing that I put on 30 pounds. Like I put on 30 pounds over the winter. And since getting rid of the hot dog roller in the office, I have dropped 25 pounds.
Except, yesterday everyone was Chase's birthday. And Chase did get 3 birthday cakes so far.
Yeah, it didn't do anything for me on the weight loss program, but honestly, that was really, really nice. It was a moment with some more personal things this week that were kind of a little bit sadder. It was really nice. The whole crew got together, all the girls. So anyone that's seen the pictures of the cake, no, it's not, because it was all the girls. So anyone seen the pictures of the horribly inappropriate cakes? They were like some boob cakes and like a pic of a butt. They had a Cheerio as the butthole. It was funny, but all the girls got together and made a cake, and it honestly meant a real lot to me. It was really special to the whole company, and I was not expecting it either. I was we had a couple of our big supporters here. I was out showing them the truck and came back in the cat. Yeah, it meant a lot.
We had bets on which part of the cake you'd eat first.
Oh, I ate that ass.
Mm-hmm. That was my call. I won.
I went right for the ass.
And so shout out for Mimi, everyone to Mimi's house, my wife, Natasha, the mechanic, even Chase's mom went. Jen was there. And all the girls pulled it off for Chase, and it was a big surprise. So fantastic! Happy birthday again, nice. For the 7th time. Yes. Where are we going from there? And Chase is on his last belt on his loop. He's gonna have to drill a new one pretty quick. Not the last one. No.
What's that?
Not the last
belt.
Usually people say the last belt loop. It's like until you go to the next size up. This one can be saved by a drill.
I don't know. It's like, and there's still like room. Like I got extra room in there. There's room. Like it's still slack. Like I'm doing pretty good.
So
turns out not eating 8 hot dogs a day is healthier. Like there's no secret to the weight loss. It's not like I'm doing a Ozempic. It's not like I'm doing like some kind of crazy keto diet. I just cut hot dogs and ice cream out of my diet.
And we kind of parked the vehicles at the shop, and now we walk to the houses and back. So you get like 3 or 4 or 5 trips a day, and the steps are adding up.
Yep. Well, I've now just showed people my belt, so that's probably the time to wrap it.
Okay, sounds good. All right, that's it for now. We should try to do more of these. Let's just say quickly that a cop key came out, which is awesome.
Oh yeah.
Kopke on TikTok, he's got like 4 million followers. The guy is such a real dude. We've actually talked about him on this podcast before. We saw him in Ottawa, and he
Yeah,
came and
he's
gave us
such
a
a good
visit.
guy.
He does all
Such
that
a
like
good guy.
awesome Canadian content, making fun of stuff, and he's got like all the merch, like the Cobra chickens for the geese and all those little sayings. Yeah, Kopke's fantastic. So he came out, and let's leave it there then. Shout out
Let's
to
leave
Kopke.
it there. Well, hey, thanks for listening, guys, and yeah, cool updates. Things are going well.
Things are going well.
This is gonna be a cool summer. Really,